doing Mailata yet another phenomenal game, especially in pass protection here against the Packers this week. First rep, let's go through chronologically. First rep is against Rashawn Gary right here. Takes a lateral step out to meet him before he can really get any momentum. Good hand fighting right here. Good punch, keeping his inside arm on him, and we can regain with the second hand right here. Never gets close. But of course, we have to lead with this play, which is just phenomenal play. The Packers are sending 6 guys in pressure. The delayed blitz from 24 right here. 26 is going to come here to the edge, and Mailata will do a good job of taking on 91, pass him inside first, and then right here, he's noticing 24 for somehow as the free rusher, and in the last second of the play, he is saving the Jalen Hurts hit right there. You see the free rusher coming in, puts him on the turf, protect your quarterback, Bodyguard 2.0. Great rep here from Mailata against Preston Smith. Takes a good angle here initially, punches down the leading arm of Preston Smith. That is really impressive. We saw some good hand fighting in this game right here. Punches down that hand, so Preston gets out of balance and then finishes, landing on him right there. Beautiful rep by Mailata. So now the Packers running a 6-man pressure with cover 1 man behind it. So what they're going to do is they're going to pinch the defensive line inside. 24 is going to blitz up into the C gap, and 52 Rashawn Gary is going to crash, going to loop all the way over here to the D gap. Mailata does a good job first, transferring 91 inside and punching him, helping out Seumalo. Then he puts his outside hand on the DB that is blitzing. So when Scott takes on him, he notices, shit, there's an extra guy back there. So he, at the very last second, goes over to take Rashawn Gary. That is easier to see on the wide view right here. You see him coming out there at the last second, identifies him, and goes up and finds him. That's a beautiful rep. Beautiful rep again right here, taking on 96 with his inside arm, helping out Seumalo as he is taking his vertical sets and keeping his eyes on the defensive end. Really strong punch right here. Good push, getting 56. Way out of balance. So now a toss to the left side. We're going to have the O-line zone blocking to the left. So Mailata will combo with Dallas Goedert right here. And when Mailata takes over, as he does pretty well here, he'll go up and he'll shove the DB, while Dallas Goedert will absolutely destroy the secondary defender here. And Sanders got the first down. Trying to set up the screen now. And Mailata will be taking on Rashawn Gary once again right here. Now, as he's taking him on, it's a good rep by Gary. I mean, he gets some good punch, good hands placement. But what Mailata does is actually set up for the play to work. So what he does is he wants Gary to get upfield, and he wants him to get outside so he can turn and he can become a blocker downfield for the screen game. So he's taking him and riding him down to Wentz and then pushing him outside at the very last second right there. And then he will be available for the screen, but everything is blown up because Boston Scott and fucking Jalen Reagor runs into each other. New rusher, Za'Darius Smith, going against Mailata now. Once again, it's a really good rep right here, taking on the angle where he can relate to whatever Za'Darius wants to do. Za'Darius commits to the outside, gets both hands on him, punch, replace the hands, then drive him with your inside arm downfield. That's a good, another good rep. Loop game here for the Packers. 91 is going to loop outside. Rashawn Gary goes inside. Mailata identifies that immediately. Really good punch on Rashawn Gary right here. Pushes him 2 gaps over and then takes on 91 well at the end there as well. End around this time, and they're going to be faking the zone right. So Mailata will get up into space right here. He takes a good angle on the linebacker right here. He doesn't just stand still and wait for him to come in. He actually takes the angle so he can manage to get one arm on him, then ride him downfield. Another push into Jason Kelce comes there. Good combination by Kelce and Mailata to get into open space. First minus of the day from Mailata against Preston Smith. He will be the winner of this rep right here as he's coming upfield. Kind of a slow rush right here. Actually, Mailata has some pretty good gravity on him right here. Doesn't have his hat too high, but he needs to get his butt lower as the play continues, as he will get driven back by one arm right here into Wentz and cause the panic. So, comeback time against Preston Smith from Mailata. This rep right here, super explosive get off, and that limits the distance between him and Preston here to begin with, so he doesn't get the momentum that he wants in the drive as he had before. Really good punch and follow through here to the outside. Good rip here from Mailata. Packers running the tick game where the inside goes out and the outside comes behind it. And Mailata identifies that immediately and takes over on 97 right here. Stays with him. Good hands placement. Keep it at him. Fine rip. Another game for the Packers here. And Mailata sees it immediately. He comes in to help Seumalo before anticipating the outermost rusher. So he comes in there, helps on number 97, and expects the outermost guy to come in there. Good awareness to identify the game immediately so you can adjust accordingly. Smooth rep against Rashawn Gary. He wants to win the edge right here. Rashawn a little bit more explosive defensive end, so that is where you anticipate him going. Good angle here setting up. See, he's going a little bit inside Gary, so he doesn't take all those vertical steps back, so he keeps the inside leverage. And then he punches nice with the hand fighting to kind of punch away on the rip from the or the club from the defensive end, so you can drive him a little bit better off the edge. Bananas comeback for Mailata against Preston Smith after we saw the pressure that he had earlier on him here. Quick get off here, notices him immediately. Nice punch there, and the initial hand that Preston gets, and then both feet get placed right there on the chest area, and then punch him away, regain the balance, do not give up anything to Preston on that rep. And now Cedarius Smith on the edge right here. He also wants the outside, like we saw with Rashawn Gary a few reps ago here. Another good get off right here. You see Cedarius get a little bit more upfield, so more vertical sets. Good punch there initially. A little bit out of balance there as the play finishes, but he does get into the edge. And I mean, that's a fine rep, but more control would be a lot better. Preston Smith and Cedarius Smith on the outside right here, and everything gets a little bit squished up right here, so you got some tight space, but the regain here from Mailata is really good as he's driving Preston to the outside, strong as fuck, and impressive considering that it's Preston Smith that he is driving to the edge right there with pure strength and not using the defensive end momentum as you usually would do. So finally, some running plays to evaluate. This is where Hurts and Herbig comes in for the Eagles here. It's a zone read to the right side. Mailata does a good job of taking on the defensive tackle right here, seals him off really well as Miles Sanders is coming up here. And then at the last second, he's transferring up to the linebacker right here to create some extra yards for Sanders. So here, blitz from 24 up into the B gap right here, and it's a really good job by Mailata right here. He takes on 55 as he has to. So Darius Smith, Miles Sanders doesn't find the B gap blitzer right here, and that's why it ends up being a pressure. And but the throw, it's beautiful, man. Outside power. This is the atrocious holding call on Seumalo. Mailata, really good push right here. Gets good hands placement. See right there, right underneath the shoulders of the defensive end. Kelsey comes out with a really good block, and that is just that is not a holding on Seumalo. Give me a fucking break. Well played all around. Trash referees. Overall, a solid rep by the entire offensive line right here. Mailata does get pushed back a little bit right here. It's a good hands placement from the defensive end. He is much lower than him. He does regain, but you're not supposed to be pushed that far back. Does get some help on the chip block here from Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is a hell of a chip blocker, so it doesn't have to do much on Preston Smith. I will note that his hands placement is really good right here. Replacing his hands, he has full control. Mailata this time takes 2 deep vertical sets right here as Preston is coming a little bit inside, not going straight vertical, and it's just an explosive move by Preston right here, swimming over Mailata. Really good rep by him, but Hurts does get the ball off, so thankfully no pressure. Another fine rep here against Preston Smith. Again, taking on his leading arm. Preston has a tendency of doing that. If just leaning with one arm in there, it's a one arm push move, and he kind of like he swipes that arm away, so he regains control of him, and then takes all the momentum away from Preston. This is one of the reps that I really like to see from Mailata because it shows that he learns from some of the past mistakes he did in these earlier starts, and that is taking on the bull rush here. 56 is going to come in, lean in here, and Mailata, once again, he's taken on in a bad position. He doesn't have his butt down. He's not in balance, but he regains his balance really well right here, planting his feet and extending his arms and getting the momentum back. So a 5-man pressure with man behind it here for the Packers, and I don't know why this is so hard for Seumalo to pick up. 24 is going to blitz into the B gap. This guy's going A gap, and you have the outermost rusher right here who will be chipped by Dallas Goedert and is responsible for to be finished by Mailata. So as he's coming out here, he gets an inside hand on 24. He gets out of balance because he trips over 24 to begin with, but regains his balance and actually takes over on Preston. But at this point, Seumalo's already beaten by 24, who comes up once again, makes the sack rather. So Rashawn Gary once again right here wants to go upfield and win the edge against Mailata. And I dig this rep because Mailata does not take vertical steps. He keeps his inside secured. He just got beat by Preston Smith. I tell you, he is respecting the inside now. And then an explosive turn right here, and being able to push Rashawn Gary downfield is good technique. And thanks to Game Pass, we do not have more all 22, so now I'll have to stick to the game tape. But thankfully, we can take some things away from the line here. On a zone left, Mailata right there. Good push on Preston Smith. Good hands placement. Drives him back 5 yards. Zone right this time, going up against defensive tackle number 94. Another good hands placement right here. Does not get his head as low as you want to, but he does drive his guy 3 yards downfield to create some extra yards for Sanders. You hear Marlott against Jerry Smith at the top, takes on the bull rush really well right here, level headed, gets his feet planted well, and drives into his knees. Good rep.